Hello, I'm Noah Nerd, and I thought I'd do another vlog because I've not really vlogged for a while on Papyrus 3D, which is something I'll probably start working again when I have time. I've started full-time work now, but this is going to be my main side project again, I think. Because I like what I've made so far. Obviously it's buggy in places, but it's being released for free, so... and it's also a passion project, really. If you've watched this channel before, you might have seen it. Basically, it's a web-based, it's a combination web-based tool for building maps and also a game engine of sorts using A-frame. And it also does gets compiled into an executable with Electron, if you wish that. So basically, it's an end-to-end. The idea of it is that it's an end-to-end game engine for building interactive fiction environments in 3 dimensions, really. So you got like interactions, characters and such. This is the map editor. So I think what I'm going to do in this video is just like try and build something, load it up, see if it works, basically. The code base is quite big. This is all of it here. And the idea of it is that you've got the map editor, and then if you forked this repository, you could basically configure all the models to whatever you wanted, the conversations with JSON. So it's JSON, it's powered, most of the actual interaction is programmed in with JSON. I have got the idea of working on a dialogue editor to automate the process, but whether that will get done or not is another matter. I had an idea of doing a cutscene editor too, which would be possible, but again, that's like future stuff. Map editor, all the map editor code's here, for example. And a lot of it works, so I'll just demo that quickly. I mean, some of this is covering old ground, so if you've seen my channel before, like you got the wall editor, you can click. I want to try and build like a few basic maps, really. The map editor's a bit more functionality now. Still a bit buggy in places, but so right. Okay, so I'm going to build a room here. You can change the size of these as well. It's like generics 25s by 50 by 100. Then I'm going to open up this. So this isn't fully working, but I've added it so you can add like different key doors. I've got a blue door there. I'm going to toggle that off. Oh, toggle that off. Go into paint again. What's going on? Computer's just having a heart attack. Walls. So the interface probably could do a bit of improvement, but I can just sort of do it as I go along, as it were. Let's try that back, it should work. There we go. So yeah, it's like it's a bit cumbersome. Obviously I need to improve it, but yeah, you can basically paint on. This is all in browser as well, which is the thing to remember, I suppose. Which makes it slightly more interesting, I suppose. It's all done JavaScript and WebGL using A-frame. So I've got a little self-contained room there with a key door, and I'll add a key from here, so you can also add a key. So I've only got a blue key, so I'm going to add that there. There's a little blue key. We'll try and do this like, try and do it like end to end from the start, see if it works. So now I'm going to load in the toggle the player placement mode, which basically sets the player start position. Okay, so I've already placed it. I forgot I even added that code. Well, that's good. It's placed somewhere. It's been a bit of a bug though. It should show up. That's what I mean. There are still a few bugs in this thing. Characters. So you'd have like a JSON list. I need to add like a actual interface for that, but I want to add character 1, which is in the JSON. Plunk there. Oh, we have to go. This is where it's a bit, you know, sort of the interface needs improving. So I need to go toggle delete mode, delete that, and then go jars. So yeah, it's not the most, at the minute, it's like not the most user-friendly interface, I'd say, but obviously I'm Still going through the process of designing it, really. There's a prefab, so you can have different prefabs. I think there might be there's a prefab selection, so I can add like, I think we've got 2 prefabs in there, so we can add like prefab 1, prefab 2. So prefab 1's there, prefab 2's there, and that's all defined in here. And this should be interesting as well. Basically, I'll go through this a bit, and then I'll try and actually load it in, see if it works. So for example, the prefabs JSON is here. So that'd be a chest and a computer. The 2 have placed down. So there should be like a chest there. You can also add water, which I think works. There we go. So you can add some like custom water stuff here. Bit of a lake sort of thing. So you can add like little, obviously all these textures can be changed too. So you can load in whatever textures you want basically. But I'll just add it so there's like a little bit of a lake running through here. And you know, like there's a certain limit to it. It's like basically a block-based design, but it does allow you to quickly create these environments, which is useful. This all gets exported out as JSON, so and then you can load it in and the engine will interpret it correctly. What's essentially happening is there's an array, 25 by 25 array, and every time that I'm replacing something here, it's updating the array. Not all of it might work though, because like I said, there's still a few bits which are misbehaving, as it were. So I'll just add some water. Just add some extra features. There's also a light system. I can't remember if I got that fully working, but I will add like maybe a light like there. So you add a bit of light to the scene. Maybe one in this corner as well. And now let's try and export that. So exporting it just exports it as a JSON. You can also import ones in as well. So we'll download this and open it up, see what form that takes. So yeah, it's just a bunch of like numbers, some strings. Like T, for example, is key blue. So some of them are like, you know, more common sense than others, but I've been just sort of going through that to go along. And what I want to do is I'm going to copy this. Now this, obviously this could be made easier via an interface, but at the minute it is what it is. I'm going to go scene 1. This is like the working sort of like prototype map. I'm just going to rename that to main or something. I'm going to create a copy of it. And I'm going to paste it in here. There we go. And I'm going to get all this, replace it with this. Not with that, with the JSON I just downloaded. Where is it? I think it's that. I think it's that one. Go here. Just go to map.json. Delete all this. Copy all that in. Save it. Now I'll load the game engine up itself. Just have them index, the root index file, the root HTML file. Boot it up. Put the sound on me as well. Wait for it to load. Or is it broken? Possibly something broke there. Oh, because it should be map, not map 1. Okay, map. It has to be like specific. So now, well, this should. I'm off somewhere. I'm not sure where that's happened. Have a look. Inspector mode. For some reason I'm below the floor. I'm not sure why that's happened, but it should be loading a map. That's probably an error with the. Oh, that'll be why. Because I've pasted it wrong. So that is not what you want to do. Now it should load. It wasn't actually loading the map because I was putting in a double array, an array within an array, which is going to break it. There we go. So this is the room I just created in the map editor. The player position was a bit off, so I started on the wall, but that's the water systems I was creating. It's the prefab that's loaded in. So you can see how once this is refined, this is quite a useful thing. So that, for example, over there's a key. This key door. There's a blue key door here. If I go here, I'll try and open this door. It's not going to have it. So I'll go and get there. Go and get the key. So it's a gauge-based movement system, so it means it works in VR as well, which is obviously useful. And I'm going to go grab this. There you go, I've got a blue key door. So that's the other prefab we added in. It's like an old server sort of thing. Old bit of machinery. You can also associate text with prefabs, so that's another thing you can do. But I've not got like that far into integrating that in the game, the tool editing side of things. Okay, so we're going to go around here. And I'm going to open this door. It should open. Yeah, the door animations are a bit off though. The way I've programmed it's a bit wrong, because basically, as you can see, I've programmed it when I was working on it to go in one direction, which is not going to work. You can sort of cheat it as well by just jumping through, but it gives you an idea of how it's like shaping up, I suppose. Though I obviously need to get it so that it goes to the left or the right of its axis, whichever one it is, if that makes sense. Because obviously at the minute its x-axis is off, so it's going. I'll probably do that by detecting where the nearest wall is and moving towards it. I think really would be the obvious way to do it. Yeah, let's reload that again. See if the character loaded in. I didn't see a character, which I thought I'd added. But that is, like I said, possibly because the map editor is I'm still debugging a lot of that. I'm going to go here, and obviously I'm spawning in a wall. But you can modify the player start position, so that's is fixable. It says there is some sort of character around here, but I can't actually see him. So either the model didn't load, or I'm not sure what. I go here. This gives you this is in the inspector mode, so that gives you a bit of ability just to look around and see the entire thing. It's good for debugging, really. I don't think I added so all the geometry and the all such as here. So there is a entity here, so that is being added somewhere. Possibly just, I'm not sure. It could be the player, I don't know. Oh, I just triggered the shoot event. Yeah, so it is being triggered. There is an enemy in there, but that's obviously scaling is way off. But yeah, that enemy is being plonked in there basically, or this character. But yeah, it's just a bit off. So there's a load of stuff to fix with that sort of thing. But let's just go into carry on with the little demo I'm doing, I guess. So we go back to here, go to reload it, go to map editor again. We'll create like a second level. And you can see we'll create maybe a slightly bigger one, so you can customize all that. So we'll change it to 50 by 50, so this is going to be a much bigger map. That's a bit off, but I can add those walls manually, that's just my mistake. Or I can just leave, it doesn't matter. So let's do that quickly. But you know, I think once this is working, like, and I've like tweaked those weird little glitchy things, so that should be quite cool, because you can basically create environments quite fast. You can also create custom heights. So if I go here, walls, custom height, this will be huge. Or it should be. Oh, toggle height, right, there we go. Boof. Boof, there we go. So you can build like huge walls, so that you can build something more like a sort of monolithic structures. So this could be maybe more of an outdoor area. That would be something that would be worth me adding, actually. Yeah. And you can transition for these different areas. So once I've done this one, I will load up the last map because it should work. I'll import in that map and then I'll just add a door and then re-import it back in, if that makes sense, which should be possible. Add some water. Toggle height mode off. This is where it's a bit weird. Like there's various like weird things with the controls that I need to like work on, but obviously my main priority has been getting it so it just loads as it should, and making sure that the map editor and the actual engines sync up. It's quite important, which hasn't been too tough of a process, to be honest, but it's an arduous one because you need to do like constant checking. The entire process of actually working on this project has been like a year and a half, I think, and I've been pretty glad of how it's progressed, but it's not a simple project by any stretch of the imagination because there's quite a lot of complexity to manage. The code base in itself is probably about over 2,000 lines, but it's been a learning process for sure, and it's just a fun project to work on, to be honest. It's a joy to work on it sometimes. So I'm just going to create some water structures here, blah blah blah. But like obviously once this is a bit more refined, potentially you could create something in an afternoon that would be playable, and then you could export it out to Electron. You could create it as an executable. You could put it on the net as a HTML game that people could play. So that in itself is quite useful, and I think it does have some scope for that sort of thing. I'll see if I can get the character in again. So I'll just change the mode to char. Go here, open up characters. I'm just going to load up the default. And plonk a character there. And yeah, I'll just leave that there, see if it loads up. Also going to create an exit door this now. So the exit door is just basically a door, plonk it there. Obviously that's a bit wrong, but in the actual engine it loads fine. Prefabs, I'll create some prefabs. So go to prefabs, I'll load in, so you can add this prefab trigger as well, so you can do that too if you wish. That's a different prefab. That blue indicates there's a trigger on it too. And prefab 3 is, like I said, it's all defined in the JSON. Prefab 3, which is defined in the root of the game, is a switchboard. So that'd be quite a standard one we have in there, really. Oh, put that on the wall. I'll probably look ugly, but whatever. Just a test in it, really. So we've got a clock, a pipe. Probably put a pipe into that number. So you can add as many as these prefabs as you want. It's like up to you, really. Table maybe. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which would be, just put 4. I'll try to load a table in. I'll turn off the interaction, and I'm going to plonk. Obviously it'd be better if the model's loaded in, but like I said, this is a working prototype. I'm going to put a few tables here, ding, 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 and that will be hopefully coming at some point, so that your prefabs will load in as you want to see them, really. Yada yada yada, put a few more walls in. Doof. It's custom height, so I'll have to trigger that. Why is it not working? Sometimes this is a thing with it at the minute. It's like it's a bit buggy. Sometimes you have to sometimes sort of. Oh, whatever. I'll export that for now. Let's test the. Let's test the open that. So I've got it ready, and I'll go to here and see if I can add that door, which I should have added before. Okay, import. Oh, the import doesn't work yet. Yeah, refresh that. Import, choose file, and then import. I think. Download, and it'll be. How is it? Yeah, it'll be that one. So I'm not sure if that's going to work. Import. Doesn't seem to be. Possibly I've not actually created that fully. Yeah. There's a bug there. Well, okay, in that case, I'll just refresh it and I'll create a new map, and then I'll just go through that process again quickly. I'll just create a very simple move so we can transition, and I'll just so it demos so you can transition through the two scenes quite easily. Blah blah blah, whatever. Create a table because I'm just interested in seeing that. I don't think I've seen that actual model yet for paint, and yeah, bit of a table, bit of a table, bit of a table, and some water. I don't know, whatever. And I'll do the player placement as well, possibly. Oh, okay, the player placement's not going to be there. I don't want it there. There you go. Player starts there. Export. And I want to switch that one up. Open up VS Code. Which one was it? Ugh. I don't care. Whatever. Why? No, I'm trying to open it with WebStorm. Go away. Downloads. Show in folder. Import VS Code. That's why it's still set to WebStorm. Okay. I do like WebStorm, but that's not what I'm working with right now. So this is the. This will be replacing the first map. Oh, of course I forgot to do the door, so I need to redo that now. I need to re-add the exit. That's the whole one point of what I was doing this for. And I'm just going to plonk that in the wall somewhere. So like, I don't know. It is a bit fiddly because you have to do like that. Not a player start, let exit, there we go. Done. Export. Like I said, it is a bit janky. I'm trying to do my best of it. It's like, but it's quite difficult. I think. So look, Papyrus, yeah, that's that one. So this will be the one I just did. Go back here again. Find map JSON. Delete all this. It's 25 by 25, so that's good. You need to make sure that that's consistent in the JSON itself, so save that. Go to map and scene 2. Open, I think it will be this one. And we'll just see if, go between the two levels, what they look like, and then I'll end the video, I think. Just wanted to sort of show that there has been progress on it of some sort, and that, because I'm doing this partially as proprietary work for myself, because I want to work on it again. Just testing it, so we may as well. Right, now, in theory, this should load up and work somehow. Yeah, so we've got the tables loaded in there. Not much light, I should have added a light as well, but no matter. You can actually tell the difference that the lights are working because it's much less light environment. It's very dull, so that's actually a good thing. It's just got some tables. We'll go to this exit door. This is an exit trigger. It's an exit trigger associated with that door. And I'll just. And we're in the next room. So, yeah, some door walls there. Some of the tables we added. There's a bit of a bug there, and I know what that is because I've not changed this to 50 by 50. I should have done that. So it's set to half the size it should be, so only half the map's loading up. Put 50 by 50 because it's a 50 by 50 map. Load it up again. And this should now load a bit better on the second map, but you can see how easy it is to transition from this first map here into a second map, how it's fairly simple to add the prefab models, which are JLB files, and how it, in the basic sense of that, is working. And there are various other things. So yeah, that's what you can see now. It's a much bigger map. It's loaded the prefabs in. It's actually loaded in the character as well, which is good. So the character's loaded in. There's something here. What that is. It's just loaded like that. Character's not any dialogue associated with it, but it has loaded in a little character. He's a bit small, but that's a scaling thing in terms of how that's plonked in there. The walls are obviously a bit off because there's something wrong with the template that gets loaded, but you've got a bunch of tables there, some other bits and bobs, the water that were added. But in theory, you can sort of see that it loads, it is more or less doing what it needs to, with a few little bugs in between in terms of how it's being rendered out. That's like stuff for me to fix, really. How long's it been going for? You got this. So that's like the interaction associated with that. But that is the wrong prefab, so obviously changed. And that's just a random interaction that I added. All the interactions are just JSON, so you get like each scene has different dialogues attached to it, different interactions that you can attach to different objects, yada yada yada. Different textures you can specify and such. Anyway, I think I'll leave that at that. Just thought I'd like show that, do a bit of testing on it and show how it's not really that complicated so far. And you know, obviously I'm going to try and create a front website for this at some point, like a domain, and start pushing it out there a bit, try and see if anyone's interested in using it. Because there's no point in me doing all this work unless it's used, really. But yeah, it's a bit of an update on Papyrus, really. I'll leave it at that. Got that bit of reflections as well, which is quite cool. Just a reflection in the water. Anyway, I'll leave it there.